So I'm setting up the Evertune, and the Evertune has one screw for the pitch, one screw for the height adjustment, and one screw for the intonation. But everything has to correlate to the individual spring. So when I have my pitch, you see nothing happens because I have to tighten it up until it's in section 2. So if I go down, now it's disengaged. This is section 1. Now I'm up to pitch, and I can go until it goes to number 3. So I go down, and if I'm right here, then you can bend, but you can go down even lower. And that means that even if I bend here, nothing happens. So you can stay completely in tune. But where you want to be is right below number 3. But once you're here and you want to set up, you see that it's a little bit high. So I'll lower the pitch. Now it's good. If the height is good, I'll check the intonation. It's also good. On the B string, for instance, I'm going up a bit, a little bit more. It's also good. G string is good. D string is a little low, and if it's a little low, I'll move it towards the neck to shorten the string, which will make the pitch go up on the 12th fret. And if at any point the pitch shifts, it means I need to put my tuner back into zone 2. So it's a bit of a half sol if you don't really know what's going on, but it's always that you have to individually make sure you're in the right region, and then you can intonate, and then you can add some adjustments. But any one of these 3 will shift how the spring is located. So you always got to make sure that you're in the right position, in the right zone. But I have a good grasp of this system, so I understand it. There's really good references on their webpage, so you can really tinker with it, look and really get to know the system. But once you understand it, it's really a good system. Well, this is extremely frustrating. If you see here, it's not the end of the world, but what happened is that I wanted to push down the volume knob, and I thought that I just needed to push a little bit harder, and that I wanted to get something to push with. I took a clamp, but what I didn't account for is that it wasn't the depth of the hole. It was in fact the top of the volume pot that hit against the end of the volume knob. So what happened was that this force didn't go into putting this down flush with the body. Instead, it went directly into the top. So it cracked into the guitar. And once everything is on point, you'll still see these 2 lines. And as of right now, yes, we could do some add-in, some fill-in to make it a little bit less pronounced, and I'll possibly do something like that just to fill it in. But it's always a hard hit when you're at the end of the build and something like this happens. And it's always like the stupidest little things that makes stuff like this go wrong. And you can't account for everything. Sometimes stupid mistakes happen, but in these moments, the most important thing is to not lose faith of the whole build. And a frustrating mishap like this could cost you the whole project. I know people that had a little mishap and they threw away the whole guitar. And it is horrible when it happens, when things go wrong. But you soldier through and you move on. And with this, it's basically a little bit of a setup and the electronics, and then it's done. So this was just by the finish line, and then something happens. But I won't let it deter me from finishing this guitar. A couple of days later, and I'm a bit more level-headed. I've gotten some glue boost, accelerator, and thin fill-in finish that I'm going to use on the crack. And that's where we ended up. It isn't perfect, but it'll do. And now I'll go into the electronics. Here's my cute little diagram of where everything's supposed to be. I did a little bit of tinkering, and what I realized is that I can't have both pickups go to the same three-way mini switch, because then they get interconnected and all the pickups sound at the same time and the switch does nothing. So what I had to do is to just split up so that the humbucker is now being voiced, because it's not really a split, it's an internal voicing. So now it has the double voicing. The switch switches the humbucker from full humbucker to a more single coil-esque sound. And then the single coil is just its regular mode connected as it should be. I wanted to shield the cavity a little bit more, so I'm going in with copper tape, slowly but surely building up a whole way around, and also on the back. And lastly, what I did was to solder a point on the copper tape onto the earth. So that we have a good connection circuit. Because if the shielding isn't connected to the earth, it won't do any good.
Tellurians, please like, share, and subscribe and all that jazz. Until next time, ta-ta!